So I couldn't let Mental Health Awareness Month pass without addressing it. We all go through something related to our mental health at some point. We all know somebody who struggles with mental health. Now, whether that's anything from a bad day to suicidal ideologies and thoughts, or anything in between, we all go through it or know somebody. So, how do you break the stigma? You address it. Now, whether you address it like this, or whether you address it with a therapist, with a friend, with, whatever it is, it's just about breaking the stigma and addressing it. Because there's nothing wrong with struggling. We all go through it. And there's no shame in it. And that's the biggest problem, is so many people feel shame around it. So I wanted to address this in 2 ways. The first is being the sister of a brother who took his own life. When something like that happens, after the fact, you feel guilt. No matter what your relationship was like, you could have been the best of friends or hated each other, you're gonna feel guilt. And it's easy for me now to say, don't, excuse me, but you're torturing yourself needlessly, and they wouldn't want that for you because it wasn't your fault. If you know somebody who is currently struggling, now whether that's an occasional bad post that you see, or if you know that they're really in the trenches struggling, be there for them. I don't care if they don't want you to. Short of them blocking you or locking you out, be there. Or hanging up on you, or however they can ignore you, whatever. Let them try. As long as they're letting you have communication, there's a chance that you can plant a seed. The biggest thing that people with mental health struggle with is being a burden and feeling like the people around them are better off without them, or that they can't overcome the pain that they're going through. That is not true. None of it. Your family, your friends, the people who love you will be carrying that burden for the rest of their lives. Do you want to just transfer your pain to them? If you can't just save yourself right now for the sake of saving yourself, do it for them. Like, I don't care, whatever keeps you here, stay here for them. But don't torture yourself and do it a self-sacrificing thing where, oh, I freaking hate it here, but, if I do anything, then this person will be mad and this person will be upset and blah, blah. No, you have to learn to process your thoughts and your feelings, and eventually, because it won't happen overnight, eventually learn to like and love and accept life, because there is a purpose for you. There's a purpose for everybody, and you need to find it in order to want to be here. Even if you do initially do it, stay here for somebody else, you need to find your purpose or your passion or something, because I know purpose can be a hard thing. If you feel like you can't attain it, that's just going to mess with you. So something that you're passionate about, something that keeps you here. As far as what we're seeing in the world, I firmly believe that we are all put on this earth for a reason, for a purpose, exactly as we are. Whether you're disabled or whether, whatever it is that you feel you want to change or feel unworthy because of, or feel like you were dealt a bad hand, no. It was all for a purpose, and none of it was to punish you. that perspective is what needs to flip and change, because you're not being punished. Nobody hates you, and there is a purpose for what you're going through, and there is a positive way of viewing yourself and the world that you might not just be seeing yet. And it's a shame to me that so many people now want to completely change who they are, and they're being enabled to do so, instead of firmly believing that they were put on this earth exactly the way that they are for a reason. I think enabling that kind of mental health struggle is dangerous, completely harmful, completely wrong, and I sincerely hope that nobody watching this will enable that. People like that are struggling and need to be told and shown that they are perfect the way that they are, and to embrace who they are and learn to love themselves, instead of falling into this trap of completely and totally changing themselves. Now, back to the fact that my brother has passed away from suicide and addiction. The addiction is always a symptom. Every single person with an addiction is suffering from something in their mental health and in their soul. They need to address that core issue, and the rest will solve itself, if done right with a therapist. You cannot, you could support, you can love, but most of the time, especially for us empaths, it's hard to accept that we cannot fix it for them. And that's often a problem we need to face within ourselves, is we can't micromanage, we can't do for them. If you find yourself doing and doing and doing for somebody, pouring from an empty cup, that's not good for you, because then you can't be there for them when they actually want to make a change and will then need you for real. So it's important to practice self-care. If you're on the end of it where you're watching a loved one who's suffering, whether they've displayed that they need help or not, whether they're in denial that they need help or not, you need to be there for them. Yes, absolutely. But make sure that you're filling your cup. Make sure that you are not running on empty. Make sure that you're not depleted, drained, because you're going to end up resenting them for an issue that they can't help alone and that you can't help them with other than your love and support. So it's a very complex thing, and it's not easy. And I'm not saying that even listening to all of these tips and information is going to make it easy. It never is when you're in it. But there is help. I will put the organization, Now Matters More Foundation, in the description. That I swear by these people. They help people with addiction and mental health. And if it's just a mental health issue, because every addict has a mental health issue, but not every mental health issue comes with addiction. You know, if they can't help you, they will put you in touch with somebody who can, and just reach out. Just reach out and know that there is help out there. Know that there is support. Know that you don't have to do this alone. And the world is better because you're in it.